Hey everybody, it's AJ, and today is a very exciting day because I just finished. I just took my last two pills for Accutane, and I actually wanted to make a little video blog about it because a lot of people. I know whenever I first started Accutane, and I was thinking about, or even just like thinking of being on it, I did a lot of research myself, and I spent a lot of time, actually too much time, researching it and going on YouTube and looking at different videos to see how other people responded to the drug, and I just wanted to know more about it. So I figured I would just post a video of my own to kind of have a more well-rounded response, and hopefully I can answer questions that you may be having. Because I feel like at this point pretty much a pro on Accutane. So I guess first things first, I will say that I was on Clairvis, which isn't, it's Accutane, but it's like the generic version. Accutane is very expensive if you get like the normal Accutane brand. With my insurance, it was like $300 a month, so that was clearly out of the question. I mean, I think most people actually, I say 99% of the people go on the generic version, unless you're like a millionaire. But I was on Clairvis, and basically this is what the packets look like. They're like little booklets, and of course you have like directions and warnings and stuff like that on it. And then the pills are in this little box right here. You kind of just pull them out, peel them out. And what is really funny about this is whenever you peel the pill out, you have a little tab, like a little flap, and they all have pictures of pregnant women with little ugly pregnant bellies with a big no over the belly, because you're not supposed to get pregnant on Accutane, which I will discuss in a minute. But it's really funny because if you do get pregnant while you're on Accutane, then your baby's gonna look like this, very jacked up. They'll look like cone heads, and it's not cute, and they're probably gonna die. So don't get pregnant on Accutane. So anyways, just really quick, a little bit of my backstory on Accutane, or actually just my acne in general. I've had acne since I was probably like 9th or 10th grade. That's when I really started getting it. I went on minocycline, and it cleared me up. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it was decent. And I stayed on minocycline, so the end of 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, and then I went freshman year into college, and my acne started acting up again, so they took me off the minocycline because I just became so immune to it. It's an antibiotic, so your body gets used to it, and then I was put on Bactrim, and that did a decent job. I mean, it cleared me up a tiny bit. It still wasn't amazing, but it was an antibiotic again, so it kind of just did the same exact thing. So after that, I went on Accutane to finally clear it up. My skin wasn't terrible. A lot of people, when I posted my pictures originally, when I first started my Accutane treatment on acne.org, they said, I don't know why you're going on it, your skin's not bad. And my skin wasn't terrible, but my problem was I had consistent acne. When I first got acne, it was bad, and I was just breaking out all over the place. But the reason I went on the Accutane now was just to clear up consistent acne, because it wasn't like big all over the place, like all over redness, whatever, but it was just like annoying, you know what I mean? And it was a struggle, I've been dealing with it for 5-6 years, so I just wanted to finally like be done and like get away and kind of put the problem aside finally. Killer problem. But anyways, enough about that. That's basically my story. But now let's talk about Accutane. So I started Accutane in May, and I just got done now, and it's November, so that's what, 8 months. I was on it for 8 months. I first started the first 4 or 5 months. I was on it, actually 4 months. I was on it for 40 milligrams, and then I was on it for 50 milligrams. Let me turn my TV off because it's distracting me. Where's the clicker? Okay, sorry. So, I basically went on 50 milligrams after that. So it was broken up in like, right in the middle between 4th month and whatever. So, the reason is, so I was on for 32 weeks, which is really, really long, but because my dosage was kind of like low, I think that's the reason why he kept me on. He called it the, I think the hybrid dosage or something like that. I don't know. So that's that. The first thing I want to discuss, though, with Accutane, the treatment itself, is the thing that I was most nervous about is the initial breakout. Because basically what Accutane is, and correct me if I'm kind of wrong, but it basically just, like, removes skin cells and the dead skin cells, and it's constantly, like, bring new skin to the top. So, the more skin you kind of are bringing up to the top, the fresher it is. So, basically, everything that's underneath your skin comes to the top. So that's why you have an initial breakout, because your body's getting like an overwhelming dose of vitamin A, and that's what causes the skin cell turnover, and that's why it goes so fast and speeds up kind of the process of it. Um, so anyways, I I did not miss the initial breakout. Nobody misses it really. I mean, I've read people online say they have, but I really don't really. I don't. It's hard for me to believe it just because that's the point of Accutane, to kind of like clear out the junk and all the shit that's underneath your skin. Um, it lasts. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, and now of course, take this. I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but everybody's skin's different. Everybody reacts differently. At least with me, it was a complete bitch. Um, I broke out really, really, really bad because what my main problem was is I had a lot, a lot of acne underneath my skin. Like if you would stretch my skin out and you look at it in certain lengths, I just had millions of different, like, they're called comedones underneath my skin, like little bumps, and all those bumps, because of the skin cells being turned over, kind of came to the top, or up to the top, and that's why I had so much inflammation on my face. I just had, it lasted for about, at least the initial breakout side. I mean, I broke out my whole time on Accutane, but near the end, obviously it stopped, but the first, I would say, 3, 4, maybe even like 5 months were probably the worst. I would say the worst month, I started in March. The worst month was definitely um, April, I would say. April, May. Um, I remember just having all over the place. I mean, right now, like, I'm basically clear, but just all over the place. I mean, there were times I'd had like 15 pimples at one time, and they weren't even just like little tiny things. They were big, you know what I mean? And also too, if you're somebody who gets cysts a lot, like I had a lot of cysts on my face, it was not a pretty picture. It was very, very depressing, but I just kept thinking to myself, go to the end. You got to cross that finish line to finally be satisfied with the results. So that's the whole thing with the initial breakout. It's really hard to skip it. Also, another tip I want to say for all you Accutane users is, because your skin cells are turning over so frequently, you're going to have very dry skin. It's drying out your skin too, ultimately, to get rid of all that junk. So you're going to have to constantly moisturize. The first few months, I say the first like 2 months, you're going to be very, very dry. Your skin, at least that's how I was. And you have to constantly be putting moisturizer on your face. Like, you can't skip it. I got very flaky, your skin does stay dry throughout the whole process, the whole treatment, but near the end it's not as bad. Like right now, it's basically just like any other normal person's, skin with being dry and whatnot. But what I use is, in the morning, I like to use this Jergens Natural Glow, just because it gives me like a nice color on my face, so I don't look like extremely pale like a ghost. Um, so I use that in the morning usually, and then at night, before I go to bed, I just use, this is just it's a generic from CVS. It's just a normal oil-free moisturizer. It doesn't clog pores or anything. Just whatever, as long as you use a facial moisturizer, I think you'd be fine. And make sure that it's dermatologist tested and it doesn't clog any pores or anything like that. But for the most part, if it's a facial moisturizer, it should be, non-pore clogging. Would it make sense if, it was? So that's that. I will say, though, the worst side effect of Accutane, I mean, aside from the breaking out and all that, is probably the dry lips. From day one until now, my lips have been extremely, extremely dry. Now it does seem to get a little better over time, but not too much. Like, it's still pretty shitty, as far as the condition is concerned. Your lips are part of your face, and it makes no exception. They're gonna get dry, and luckily, I mean, some people get it to the point where their lips actually crack and they bleed. I don't know if they're just not keeping up the maintenance right or what the deal is, but I fortunately didn't get to that point, but I did get to the point where they just became so dry where I had some cold sores every once in a while. But just always make sure you have, the biggest thing I can tell you on Accutane is to, well, one, don't stop it, because you're gonna just fuck yourself over. But two, to always have chapstick on hand. I really, I would say, I'll just tell you what I used, but honestly, really anything works. I got from, obviously, like any normal chapstick works. The problem sometimes I have with the normal chapstick is sometimes, depending on how dry your lips are, it causes like flakes to be on your lips, and it can be really annoying, and you constantly have to check the mirror to make sure that there's no flakes or any kind of like random particles of chapstick kind of floating there. One of my favorites is Burpees. It's very smooth. It's very silky to put on. However, if you don't like having shiny lips, then you're not gonna like that because a lot of times burp bees can be kind of shiny. I also have, this is actually from my dermatologist, and I don't think you can really buy this in any kind of like convenience store or whatnot, but if you can find this, I definitely recommend it. It's Dr. Dan's Cortisone, and the only thing is with this, you can only use it for 2 weeks because there's cortisone in it, and cortisone actually can take layers off of your skin, and if you're putting on your lips too. So you can only use it for 2 weeks, but this is good too. It's very, very shiny. I would put it on before night, and it stays on, for a decent amount of time because you're gonna have to keep reapplying things. Another thing which I just started recently, and I really, really like this method, is I put on, and it sounds really, really gross, but if you guys have never heard of it, it's absolutely amazing. It's called shea butter, and you can get it in like the drugstore and whatnot, but it's not like actually like, this is unrefined. It's imported from. I got this online. It's from Africa. I don't know if you can actually tell what it looks like. It looks just like putty. And it's very, very thick. Some people put it on their face for scarring and stuff like that, but I am kind of nervous because like I don't like putting a lot of thick goop on my face. It kind of makes me nervous. But people have said it's like cured scars and stuff. Which scars I'll be talking about? Give me like a second. A lot of stuff to say about this. But shea butter, it sounds gross, but I've been like putting a lot on my finger and kind of like rubbing it on my lips. And then on top of that, I put on just normal Vaseline, so it kind of gives like a nice coat to stay on longer. And I do that before I go to bed at night, so the next morning and the next day they're not as bad, and my chapstick goes on a lot smoother and a lot nicer, and it's not as like flaky like I said before. So that's basically my tips for that. Um, Also, just in general, if your body gets dry, this is a great moisturizer lotion to use. It has shea butter. This is the shea butter you don't want to, that's like the fake shea butter, I guess you can say. But there's still the formula in it. This is Palmer shea butter formula with vitamin E. And it's just good for, dry hands. Sometimes, like, I know my back got a little bit dry because I had some acne on my back and in my chest. But that's that. Um, Aloe vera is another great product to use. If you're gonna use it, make sure you get the 100% aloe vera. Don't get like the colored dye with like the green or the blue, or I've seen orange sometimes too. Always make sure it's the clear stuff. I don't have that much left, but I love this stuff. You can use it for anything. It's kind of like an all-purpose, use. I even sometimes would use it on my whole entire face when I was going through that really crazy breaking out part, the initial breakout, because it would help get rid of the redness and clear up some of the spots that I had a lot faster. What else do I have to show you? Oh, this too. If you ever, have a pimple that's like broken up, if you like kind of picked at it, which you should never do, and I'll explain that a little bit too. This is just great to use. Any kind of like, not hydrocortisone. Well, this is just antibiotic pain relief cream. It's the CVS version. Neosporin would be the actual like product official. This is generic, but it's good for like closing any kind of like open sore you have on your skin. Gets rid of the redness. It just helps heal things basically, and I really recommend that. Now, as far as my skin condition now, the last few months have been, I'd say the last 2 or 3 months have been the best, obviously, throughout the Accutane experience. I'm still breaking out. However, when I break out now, they're tiny. I mean, you really can't see anything. My skin is really basically clear. I don't have any active pimples at all. But when I do break out, they're like literally like these tiny whiteheads that I can't even describe how small they are. They look like, I mean, I don't know. Like they're just, I can't even like do it with my finger because they're just extremely, extremely small. To the point where only someone like me can recognize them or actually see them because I have to be really close up in the mirror. But my skin is really, really looking good, and I'm very happy. When I look in the mirror, whenever I look in certain lights, I don't see a lot of bumps like I used to before Accutane because I had all that stuff underneath my skin. This video is 14 minutes. I'm so sorry it's so long. I just have a lot to say. But, so that's that. The only problem, honestly, that I'm really having now is the scarring, which you really can't see too much of right now in this video. I was lucky not to have too much scarring, but the scars that I do have are very annoying, and they can become a little bit frustrating, just because I have this clear skin, and now I have to deal with the scars, but, I guess I'd rather deal with scars than, red bumps and pimples all over my face. I had a lot of red marks, but those clear up over time. But as far as like the pitted scars, that's really what I'm dealing with. Like I said, you really can't see, but right here I have a deep one. I don't, kind of like right here, you know. And to you guys, it may not seem that bad, but to me, it's kind of annoying. And then on this side, I have one in the middle of my skin. Right here, it's a tiny little pitted scar. And I have a few that are actually healing pretty nicely for being, you know, indented scars. You really can see these ones really aren't that bad at all, but it's basically this one. This is the worst though. This area was really weird during Accutane because I had a lot of under the ground pimples right here, and the whole time, I mean, it would just be breakout after breakout after breakout, and that's the reason why this scar right here is so bad, because it was just like millions of different pimples in this area, and it might just it couldn't take it anymore, so it kind of just caused that scar. Um, Pitted scarring is one of those things where, I mean, you can wait. I mean, it really just depends on the scar. I don't know how it's going to work out. All I do know is what I use to kind of like fill it in, I guess you can say. And this isn't going to be a makeup tutorial. I'm not here to like say, oh, you can wear this or do this. I'm not really that familiar with a lot of like makeup tips, and I don't want to give you guys a makeup tip and say that I'm professional, because I'm not. I will say though that during Accutane I have used makeup to cover up some of the redness. I am a broadcast major, and I had an on-camera class. I'm hoping to one day be on TV reporting entertainment news. So when I was on camera, I was expected to look my best, so we had to wear makeup and whatnot. But I'm not going to discuss it in the video. But what I will discuss though is what I use to kind of cover up the scars, because I think this does a really good job. Um, it's just a basic primer, and it's called Studio Secrets Professional. It's by L'Oreal, and I really don't use this all over my face because I really don't feel the need to, and I don't really have many people to impress. But I will use this on the scars. I just put a little on my hand right here and kind of rub it around the scarring area, and it kind of helps fill in the scars. It doesn't make it look completely unnoticeable, but it does the best job that it possibly can. You know, it's something I have to live with, and I'll get used to it eventually. But I am happy with how far my skin has gone. You know, Accutane, it's definitely a bitch, but at the end of the day, I think it definitely works out. Um, you know, I don't want to say it's the miracle drug, just because, my skin isn't perfect, but I wasn't looking for perfect skin to begin with. I was just looking for better skin, and I wanted to feel more comfortable, and I wanted to be able just to, you know, be able to not have to worry about what I look like or what my skin looks like whenever I'm out with my friends, whenever I wake up in the morning or whatever. It really controlled my life, and I feel at this point, you know, it's just a lot better. So I'm very happy, and I could go on and on, honestly, about my experience and whatnot. Um, you know, but basically, you know, the first half of your acting experience is going to be complete bitch. It will be. The second half, it's going to be a lot easier, just because that's whenever your skin will really start to show improvement. I didn't start seeing real improvement, good improvement, where I was like, wow, this looks good, until I'd say like the last month. You know, I mean, this last month that just passed now. Um, so don't expect your skin to get better in, like, you know, a month, because it's not gonna happen. It'll probably get worse until it gets better and your skin's finally like rejuvenated, and you know, everything's brought out. All your pores are kind of brought out. Another thing I want to add too is if you have blackheads, I had a lot of blackheads on my nose and in this area right here, and they actually cleared up really fast. I say within the first like 2 or 3 months, I was blackhead free. Another thing that cleared up really fast for me, which I was really surprised, because most people say that your body actually takes a longer time to heal and to clear up, but my body cleared up within like the first, I'd say 3 months. Once again, too, I had a lot of bad acne on my shoulders. There was some on my back, but not that bad, and then my chest got it really bad too. And I'm not gonna sit here and, like, you know, take my shirt off. That's not me. But I will say now that I can maybe show you a little bit. It's completely clear. I have some sunspots and stuff like that, but nothing. Allergies. But nothing that is you know, bad or anything. And, you know, of course, too, if you have acne on your body, you know that it's very painful, especially, like, I'm someone who goes to the gym, I'm very active, and, you know, with my job, I'm constantly expected to be moving around and stuff like that, so it hurts, you know, having those on your back, and you know, your shirt's rubbing against it. If you're at the gym, you're lifting, and it is not very comfortable. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. Sorry it took forever, but like I said, I have so much to say. going on 20 minutes. It's embarrassing. But if you have any questions, feel free that I didn't, any questions at all, feel free to contact me. I'm going to be posting this on acne.org, so just reply to the post and I'll get back to you. If you're watching this on Tumblr, send me like a private message, or if on YouTube, send me a comment, or message, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'll probably be more inclined to see the comments and the messages because YouTube's become a joke lately and I get too many like weird stuff and messages, watch this video when I'm not gonna watch a video. So yeah, make sure you guys ask me anything because I definitely have the answers. Sorry once again for the video being so long. See ya.